and welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, today I will be showing you my current skincare routine and my everyday makeup routine. New year, new me and all of that. If you would like to find out what products I use, then just keep on watching. Let's share the skincare routine that I use. I am still currently using my Function of Beauty custom skincare. I'm just trying to finish this before I go back to my regular routine. If you would want me to let you know what I'm using after I finish this, then leave a comment down below. I have another set coming which I also will be testing. I have changed a couple of the customizable aspects of the skincare to see if that one suits me better. But yeah, I basically wash my face in the morning with this cleanser. It's nice and gentle, gets rid of all the gunk collected throughout the night. Then I use a pump of the serum. It sinks in really nicely, it wakes me up because it smells so good. It's a great thing to use in the morning. And in the morning I also put a moisturizer on. After that all sinks in, I do go ahead and use an SPF, and this is Revolution Protecting Boost for normal to oily skin. This has SPF 30. They need to come out with SPF 50 if I'm completely honest, but you know, 30 is okay. I'm running low on this one. I think I've got another backup. If not, I'm definitely repurchasing it because I like this a lot. I mean, I can't test the protective aspect of it, but it is a good moisturizer. It only takes a couple of minutes to sink in and I am ready to get into my everyday makeup routine. I usually don't have time to spend, you know, an hour or an hour and a half to do my makeup like I usually do. I don't do anything eyeshadow wise usually. If I want to feel extra, I will throw in a little bit of eyeshadow, but most days it's actually very simple. It takes me about 15 minutes altogether to do this, so I highly encourage you to follow along. I love this concealer. This is Revolution Concealer and Define Infinite Concealer, and I have the C5. This matches me almost perfectly and I use it on a daily basis. I try not to use a lot, so I apply a little bit of that around the eyes, and then I take the Mitchell cheek brush. I really like this for this particular procedure. For this particular step, I just tap that concealer in the darkest points of my eye, so under my eye, on top of my eye, and in that inner corner. And after doing this, I immediately feel ready to take the day on, because, you know, brightened eye just immediately makes me feel so much better. Whatever's left in the brush, I use to go around my nostrils. They do get a little bit red, and again, whatever's left, I just go on top of the nose a little bit. However, I do use this concealer to spot conceal some of my blemishes, and that's what I mean by spot concealing. I just take the wand and put it on my jaw mainly. I don't mind the spots like at the front here because they will get covered with the Bare Minerals foundation. I just use a little bit and blend that concealer in, drag it onto the blemishes on the chin if I've got some, and just roughly blending that concealer in. I lately have been pretty good with my skin. My skin had a bit of a situation after Christmas, but I'm not surprised. All that food, all that sugar with the cakes and stuff, I am really, really not surprised it has reacted the way it did. But at this point, you know, I'm like, I look cute. I can get away with not wearing foundation. But then I put foundation on. I have not so recently anymore testing out the Bare Minerals matte foundation. I didn't like it as much as the original. It doesn't have that much coverage. However, I like it for the amount of coverage that it does give, and it is like a medium, I would say. It keeps me nice and matte. It just evens out my skin tone a little bit. So I take a little bit of the foundation into the cap. I take my favorite, the Expert Face brush from Real Techniques. I just take some onto the brush. I tap the excess off and I begin to blend it in. I start with my jaw. I use the excess of what's in the brush on the chin, and then I just apply that foundation onto my cheek. If I need to build in some areas, I build. Shock. But like I said, on a daily basis, I'm actually okay with being able to see some of my blemishes, or even majority of my blemishes, because realistically, even if I had the full coverage foundation, you can't hide all the bumps. Just love yourself in 2021. I only apply the tiniest little bit on my forehead because I love my forehead, as it is the nicest, most even aspect of my face. I just tap it on my nose just to kind of set the concealer or the residue of the concealer that I had. I do, however, use a completely different powder for my eyes. Recently, it has been the Kimchi Chic Puff Puff Pass, but you know, I would use my RCMA No Colour powder before, or Fenty Beauty has a nice powder. So I take a little bit into my brush and set my concealer. I should have totally tapped that out because it creased a little bit, but that's okay. You could potentially set with the Bare Minerals, but because it is a foundation, it does end up creasing after like a couple of hours. I have tested cream bronzer on top of and underneath the Bare Minerals foundation, but I don't like it. I only use powder, and my favorite combo lately has been the KVD Shade and Light palette for contour and the PS Bronze Glow bronzer in Suspect from Primark. Sometimes I have to bronze my neck a little bit because I go ham with the bronzer like I did today, but I just love bronzer. And see, after all of that, the blemish don't seem as apparent anymore. So on a daily basis, you really don't need to use full coverage. I have definitely learned that in 2020, and I accepted, embraced the way my skin looks. Time for blush, I never skip that. And yes, I do use my Carnival 3 like I always do when I do use the palette. I love this middle row, the hibiscus, bear, coral, yellow and sand. I quite literally take a fluffy brush and just go down that line, pick up my shades just mixed together. I have to dab some off, mix them together, and I put some on my apples, draping it back. And I always put a little bit on the nose. I just feel like it makes me look a little bit cute, nice and youthful, and just nice. At that point, I usually decide whether I want something nice on the eyes or not. Most of the time it is just mascara and a little bit of liner, so that's what I'm going to do today. And to get the perfect liner every single time, every single day, I do my lashes first. I put some mascara on first. My favourite is still the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Absolutely love it. The only thing that gives my lashes length and thickens them. And as my mascara on my lashes is drying, I do my brows. I take my Soap Brown from Westbarn Company. This is something that if I don't have time, I sometimes have to skip this, but I don't like to, because I have been, and you know this, I have been obsessed with super full fluffy brows. So I style my brows with this soap, and this is the most simplistic, if I'm in a rush, takes me 10 minutes to do kind of makeup. But I'm not going to stop there today. Today I am going to fill in my brows, and I do take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and I have the shade Medium Brown. I take my super thin angled brush and some of the pomade. You want to make like the sharpest point you can with the brush, and I like to mimic hair. Just fill in the tail mostly. Something like that is fine. But sometimes I do go in and feather in a little bit at the front as well. Nice and thick and full and model-like. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And because my brows naturally are pretty thick, I don't take that long to do this. As you can see, I only need a couple of like hair strokes, and they nice and thick. And again, sometimes I just stop there. Sometimes I stop at any point if I'm in a rush. But today I'm going to give myself a wing liner, and the reason why I did my lashes first is because I often use my lashes as a guide. Oh, that is going to be an extreme wing. And I do a quick half liner just like that, and then out the door. Well, obviously I need to do the other side, but and if they don't look similar, I just accept the fact that they are not similar, because if I were to try and fix them, it would take me a lot longer than to do them again. But I don't have that time in the morning, you know. The one additional step that I've been doing lately and really like is to create that foxy liner look. And to do that, I take my artist brush, the very thin one. I've mentioned this before. You can use your liner if you want to, that's absolutely fine. I just find this is a lot more precise. And I take a little bit of my mascara, and I elongate my inner corner with this. Doesn't need to be big. In fact, a nice small elongated inner corner is just right, because if you make it super long, it will be very noticeable. And with such, I mean, this is minimal makeup for me at least, so you don't want to make something super extreme with a very nice natural base and natural fluffy brows and minimalistic eyes. You don't want to go too heavy on anything. And I might disappoint some of you guys, but on a daily basis I usually just use lip balm, because that's the only thing that doesn't become crusty throughout the day. I have quite a long day. I am outside the house for 10 hours and I wear makeup for about 12, so throughout the day it just goes crusty. But today I'm going to line my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk, and in fact I'm going to fill them in as well, just like that. If I do feel like wearing a lipstick, it's definitely a bullet lipstick that I'm able to reapply throughout the day, and if it comes off nice and evenly. So that is it. That is my everyday makeup routine. Alright you guys, so here it is. This is my 2021 skincare and everyday makeup routine. I really have been into bushy brows. I've been into wing liner again. It's quite simple. Like I said, embrace your skin. I have embraced it again end of 2020. I have discovered myself in 2020. I can now reflect on that, and I love myself like this. As always, I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best, and I hope to see you next time.